Is it on? Oh, there we go. Okay. So, I actually almost didn't come today, because, okay, well, I'm extremely bipolar. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's basically like going through menopause since the day you were born, forever, continuously. And, so I woke up today and I was ready to go. I was really excited to come, and then hours later, all of a sudden, I just kind of wanted to, like, curl into a ball and not do anything. I don't really know why. But at the last minute, I decided, you know what, I was texting my friend, I was like, you know what, I think I'm just going to go and I'm going to do it. So, which is lovely, because that kind of gives me an hour to do anything. Because I kind of procrastinated, so I didn't really have anything prepared at all. So, I gave myself like an hour to pull a comedy act out of my ass. But, so yeah, I know I took a shower, because that's where I do my best thinking, apparently. So I'm in the shower, and the first thing that came to my mind was gay dating sites. Because to me, that's hilarious. Like, people on there actually don't really pay attention to anything. They'll just randomly send you a message out of nowhere. On my profile, it specifically says, if you're over 30 years old, you know, don't message me. Like, I feel kind of bad saying that, but I'm 20. I don't really want to talk to, be hit on by a 60-year-old guy. It's a little weird. But, so I get a message, actually, from a guy who's, like, 55 years old, and he's like, oh, I really respect your honesty. If you respect my honesty, then why the hell are you messaging me? Like, I never understood that. People just kind of like, and a lot of guys, like, always ask the same question. They're like, are you more of a masculine gay guy or more of a feminine gay guy? And it's kind of hard for me to answer that because I'm more like a mad black woman most of the time. So it's kind of like, I mean, I guess you would consider that more on the feminine side, but, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Well, one time, actually, guys are, like, I noticed a lot of gay guys are really shallow for some reason, because they're all really tiny. Like, I went to a gay club in New York City, and everyone was, like, 90 pounds. You're, like, those little tiny twinks that are, like, I feel like you could break them in half. And I went like this, actually. So, I mean, I stuck out a lot. I felt like, you know, it was interesting, but a lot of guys are really shallow. So I would, you know, talk to guys online, and they would say, oh, you know, I like you, I really want to meet you. And back then, I was almost 300 pounds, but in my pictures, you couldn't really see it. So I would meet them, and they'd be like, oh. So, I mean, I don't know what they want me to tell them. So eventually, I got really sick of people telling me they wanted to date me or whatever. They see me in person, they're like, eh. So I started to kind of, like, throw in that I was, like, chubby when I was talking to them without actually saying it, like, straight out. So when guys ask you, so tell me a little about yourself, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'm 20, I like hanging out with my friends, I have man boobs, I like music, this and that. So I kind of just, like, throw that in there, kind of, like, let them know. And, but I mean, I used to have really low self-esteem. Now I don't even care. Like, my friend Deb was really upset a while ago, and I'm, like, trying to cheer her up, and I'm really weird, so I was like, alright, I know how to do. We're walking down Route 15, and I get in the middle of the road, and I lift up my shirt and start shaking my man boobs in the middle of the, like, freaking highway, and, you know, I get to the end of the highway, and I'm like, oh my god, did you see that? She's, like, cracking up, and then she's like, Frank, there was a cop over there, and I'm like, what? No. So I start running into McDonald's. I'm, like, running over a fence, and she's like, Frank, wait! And I'm like, no, get the fuck out of here! So the cop pulls over, and usually when that happens, you know, I'm usually able to talk my way out of situations. Like, I can think really quick. But you can't really make up a good reason for doing that. I mean, so he comes over and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't really know. And he's like, he actually asked me if I do it often. I don't really know why he was wondering that. He's like, do you do that often? I'm like, no, not really. But, I mean, at least it cheered her up, made for a funny story, you know, but, I don't know, like, just, I don't know, like, going down, I've done so many, like, crazy things on the highway. I've been on the highway at, like, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, just doing absolutely nothing. Like, me and my friend actually took a shopping cart from Pathmark and started running down the highway with it for no reason. So I show up at my house with a shopping cart, and my dad, I ring the doorbell, my dad comes down, he's like, no. And I'm like, why not? And he's like, you can't keep that! I want it in my room! So he actually got really pissed and just grabbed the shopping cart and just dragged it up the steps. And I was like, you know what? You're taking care of that. This makes it sound like it's a pet or something. Like I have to take care of the shopping cart like it's gonna run away or something. But it was cool. I kind of just had it set up in my room a little bit, and I kind of just you know, just put like pillows in it and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Just like I was saying before about my past dating life, a lot of guys I'm noticing I don't get along with guys very much. All my friends are women, and most of which are lesbians. Which is cool. Like, sometimes I really wish I was a lesbian. I wish that was humanly possible. If I could just get a sex change and automatically become a lesbian. I feel like my life would be 10 times better. But, I don't know, my hatred towards men actually started when I was a little kid, because you can imagine I'm not like your average guy very much. But, so I got made fun of a lot, you guys could assume, growing up. I was called every single, like, slang word for being a homosexual I was called. Someone even called me a fruit salad one time, and I don't understand why, where he even got that from. And it's really hard to yell back when you have a lisp and you have a really high-pitched voice. So it's like, leave me alone, you know. I'm not gay, oh my god, you know. But when I finally came out of the closet, though, people act like they were shocked. I'm like, you've been calling me gay since kindergarten. I didn't even know what gay was then. Apparently you somehow did. But, so I came out as, you know, being bisexual at first. I was like, yeah, you know, I'm bi. I couldn't even say it. I actually had to write it on my hand and show random people. So, eventually they decided to tell the teachers. So all the teachers were like, oh yeah, Frank's gay. So teachers, I mean, what do teachers say to that? You can't really, like, say much. It was really awkward. I mean, I didn't like, but I found a way to get guys to leave me alone. I would just kind of hit on them a little bit, and I guarantee you, after you flirt with a straight guy, they want nothing to do with you. So they didn't come near me anymore, they didn't want to touch me, they didn't want to hit me because then they'd be touching me. So, you know, that kind of worked to, and they see me in, like, black pants and, like, makeup and stuff, and all of a sudden, I'm, like, you know, some kind of, like, Satan worshiper, like, I'm going to cast a spell on them or something because I'm wearing black pants. But yeah, like, I don't know, I grew up, I was, like, in school, I stuck out like a sore thumb. I also grew up in, like, a school that was 99% Hispanic, so I was the only white kid who was gay, who had a lisp, who was chubby, who was short, and wore black makeup. So I was like a walking target. Yeah, I couldn't really walk into a room without, you know, getting, you know, stared at for things like that, but I mean, you know, I was used to it, I didn't care. Now when I get older, it's kind of fun, because guys will talk to me now from back then, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm cool with you now, man, yeah, nothing wrong with being gay as I get older, and I'm just like, I don't want to talk to you. Like, you're cool with me now, that's wonderful, but I still hate you. I mean, you know, and then when I came out of the closet, all my male friends automatically assumed I was going to hit on them. They're like, oh, so you think I'm attractive, right? I'm like, no. I mean, I'm gay. I mean, you know what? But you're not. You've never really been attractive. I'm sorry. And then they get offended. They're like, well, what's wrong with me? Why don't you think I'm hot? Why don't you want me? Like, why do you care? You know, like, but like I said, I have a tendency of becoming really black when I get excited. Like, I can't help it. Like, I was in Burger King one time, and my friend spilled a drink, and all you hear is me, oh my god! Ow! Ow! You know, but it just kind of happens. I can't help it, you know, as I'm touching my fake hair. This actually feels like straw, by the way. It looks...
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. It feels like straw. It's like the fakest...
Pass it around.
I could. I will take my wig off. There we go. Put my wig on the floor. The balls cap off. Now my hair looks horrible. Oh my lord. It's not even... I don't even know.
No, it's good.
My hair is very... Whoa, there's a red light in front of my hand. Sorry. I have ADHD too, as you can tell. I get really distracted very easily. I used to rollerblade all the time, and the only time I ever got hurt, I mean, I would rollerblade backwards, I would do random, you know, tricks. The only time I ever fell was when I was on the sidewalk rollerblading normally, and I saw something in the sky, distracted me for a second, and I hit a curb and face planted, and I get up on the cement, and my head is bleeding, like, really bad. I have this big gushing, like, thing, and there was a couple. They're like, oh my god, are you okay? Yeah, I'm peachy. I'm just bleeding down my face, but I'm very good. So, you know, I ran home, and, like, which is really hard to run on rollerblades. I don't know if anyone's ever tried that. You basically have to run like this, you know, lifting your legs up really high. But, no, I got home, and, you know, everything was fine. But, when you might have a chance of having a concussion, you have to be woken up every 2 hours in your sleep, which sucks, because when you have a headache, you don't want to be woken up every 2 minutes. Every, like, 2 hours or whatever. It's like, you just want to sleep when you're in pain. My parents kept coming in, waking me up, And one time, I was kind of ignoring them because I was trying to sleep, and they freaked out because I wasn't answering. So they started shaking me, and I was like, get the fuck away, I'm trying to freaking sleep. It's really hard to wake me up. I mean, my sister actually, to wake me up at school, she had to lift my mattress up in the air while I was on it and drop it. They actually threatened to pour water on me one time, which, you know, sucked, but I still slept, actually. And, but the one time I had the best idea ever. I had an alarm, and usually people put an alarm on a music station, which doesn't help. You just kind of sleep, listen to music. You're like, you know. So I put it on a station that didn't come in, so all you hear was shh, like really loud. So alarms never worked for me. I would get up, run across my room, turn the alarm off, run back in bed, and go to sleep. You know, but okay. Well, I'm done.